Do it to it.
Okay, okay. All right.
Gotta get you going. Come on into the studio.
Coming into the studio. Oh yeah.
I like that. I was just looking at I just got a notification they're gonna rename this day. It's gonna be Me and D Pops and Sunday.
Me and D Pops and Sunday.
It's Me and D Pops and Sunday,
Pops
April
and Sunday.
13th, 2025. Dang, I guess I gotta go back. Coming to you live from the Sit Your Ass Down studios. Welcome to the Me and D
Pops and Son.
podcast.
For that ass.
For that ass.
Man, for that ass.
For that ass.
No Diddy.
No Diddy, no doubt. Today is April 13th, 2025. It's a Sunday. Pops and Sunday. That's a new day on the calendar for you. So you get through every day of the week and you get to Me and D Pops and Sunday.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Me and D Pops and Sunday.
Sunday. That's new. You can start checking that out. What are y'all doing on Me and D Pops and Sunday? Well, we're gonna record now and get this podcast out. Right. But for the rest of you all, you start figuring out what you're gonna do on your Me and D Pops and Sunday. We like that.
That's funny.
It's Masters Sunday, D. And no Tiger Woods to get me excited, but there's still some compelling golf to be played today. Yep. You got fan favorite Rory McIlroy with a two-shot lead over Bryson DeChambeau. There's some names we'll be pronouncing today. DeChambeau, who left the PGA Tour, got his bag with LIV. And he's back to try to earn his first green jacket. And actually, so is Rory. That is the one major that he has not won.
Okay, Rory.
Trying to reach the PGA Slam. So that's going to be some good golf today. Rory, again, is 12 under. Bryson is 10 under. There's a few others lurking about. But those are the two at the top of the leaderboard that everybody will be watching today. Have you watched any of the Masters tournament at all? Or?
Nah, I really got to check into the Masters too much. I'll probably check it out on this Me and D Pops and Sunday.
Good day to watch it.
Today will be a good day for it. Yeah, today's going to be a real good day for it.
Yes, sir. So we'll go through our rest in peace birthdays and a little history for today, which is the 13th. First of all, rest in peace, Jay North, who played Dennis the Menace back in the day. He passed away after a long battle with colon cancer. Clem Baker, drummer for the group Blondie, passed away. Former Blues goalie and hockey broadcaster and analyst Glenn Mullen passed away. Actor Nicky Katt, known for his roles in Dazed and Confused and School of Rock, passed away. And NFL veteran Ray Seals. So rest in peace to those folks.
Man, rest in peace.
Birthdays being celebrated today. And this is just a few that we know of. I'm sure there's many others being celebrated on Me and D Pops and Sunday. Baseball player Hunter Pence celebrates. I don't know if you remember this player, Quentin Richardson, played for the Knicks, the Clippers. Celebrates a birthday. Baron Davis, I know you remember him, point guard for the Clippers, Hornets, Warriors. Megan Shaughnessy, tennis player, celebrates a birthday. Happy birthday to Lions head coach Dan Campbell. Hope they don't bite his kneecaps off while they're getting a piece of cake.
Man.
But happy birthday to him. Dan Campbell. Monty Brown, professional wrestler and NFL linebacker, celebrates a birthday. Dominican pitcher for the Yankees, Cincinnati Reds, Jose Urijo, celebrates a birthday. And Davis Love III, famous golfer, celebrates a birthday as well. Happy birthday to those folks. And a little history on today, April 13th. San Antonio Spurs head coach Greg Popovich surpasses Lenny Wilkens to become the all-time winningest coach in NBA history with his 1,413th win. That happened in 2019. And 2014, Manny Pacquiao defeats Timothy Bradley to regain his WBO welterweight boxing title. I just watched that fight last week.
Oh, for
I
real?
told you about that channel. Yeah, they got a lot of good fights. They showed the one where Bradley beat him, and then they turn around and show the one where Bradley was beaten by Pacquiao.
Right, the show.
2014, the 78th Masters tournament. Bubba Watson wins his second Masters, 3 shots ahead of runners-up Jonas Blixt and Jordan Spieth. That sounds like a law firm, Blixt and Spieth.
Blixt and Spieth.
Blixt and Spieth. In 2012, Martin Brodeur stops 24 shots for his 100th postseason win. That's pretty good. Let's see. Keep it moving. 2004, Barry Lamar Bonds hits his 661st career home run, passing Godfather Willie Mays for third most. Now he's the all-time leader with 755 home runs. 1997, I remember this day quite well. Tiger Woods wins the Masters by a record 12 strokes at Augusta National, closing with a 69. Woods finished at 18 under, the lowest score in the Masters, and matching the most under par by anyone in any of the 4 Grand Slam events.
Dang.
Tiger Woods, y'all.
Tiger Woods, y'all.
In 1992, Lou Carnesecca retires as head coach of the St. John's men's basketball team. 1980, the United States and its allies boycott the Summer Olympics in Moscow in protest against Russia's invasion of Afghanistan. What else is new? Fast forward to 2025. Right. They're still fighting that same war.
They still going at it.
Still going at it. 1954, Milwaukee Braves Hank Aaron played his first game. And in 1963, Pete Rose triples for his first major league base hit. Rest in peace to the hit king and Hank Aaron. Yes, sir. And Lou Carnesecca. Now that I go through this list, I'm going backwards. Tiger's still with us, thankfully. All right. So that's our birthdays. That's our history, and rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Oh, man, I see some product placement. That's a little different color. What's that flavor, D?
That's that kiwi strawberry.
And that's kiwi strawberry. I have had that one.
That's the Energy and Burn one. And I think
is that before workout, or when's the best time for that one?
Right before workouts. It fuels metabolism, low calorie, of course, 0 sugar, and positive energy. So yeah, it's a little bit. You get a little bit more. If you're trying to burn those calories, get them extra calories off. Great for before a workout, and even like after a workout, after a meal too as well. I'm gonna
go ahead and pop you one.
Go ahead, crack me
pop
one.
the top.
Pop the top.
Now, does my favorite flavor come with the same ingredients?
No, that's just an OG flavor.
Okay,
but it does still have the low cal, the 0 sugar with the B vitamins and stuff. That still fuels metabolism. I think there's a little bit more emphasis on just burning the calories.
Okay.
The same amount of caffeine too as well.
I may have to check that out. I don't know. I'm stuck on my flavor.
Yeah, for sure.
That pineapple, mango, guava. Holla. All right. So today is the last day of the NBA seasons. Several games have playoff and seeding implications. And I've got the list, and some of these games will have been played by the time we release this, but all in all, everyone's playing today. You got the Pistons taking on the Bucks. Both of those teams are pretty secure. The Bucks have the 5th spot. Looks like the Pistons will hold on to that 6th spot. Bulls and 76ers, they can go ahead and go home as Kenny and Charles and Shaq said, go fishing. Go ahead and get the fishing gear out.
Go flush yourself.
The Wizards will take on the Heat. I think the Heat will probably rest its starters because they're already in the play-in. So I don't know if they want to expend any energy. Wizards aren't playing for anything. You got the Pacers at the Cavs. Both of those teams are locked up. The Cavs are the number 1 seed in the East. And the Pacers, they'll be taking on the Bucks. It'll look like they'll finish with the 4th best record. Knicks and the Brooklyn Nets, nothing for the Knicks to play for. Looks like they're going to hold on to that. Well, they could. I don't know what the tiebreaker is, but they're only 1 game better than the Pacers in that 3rd spot. So they might flip-flop spots. You got the Hornets at the Celtics. Celtics already secured that number 2 slot in the East.
Everybody played today.
Right, yeah. Nobody played yesterday. And the whole schedule, everybody in the organization or I'm sorry, the association.
The
Everybody in the
association.
association is
We're
playing today,
associating.
but it's an organization, but it's the association.
Association. The
The
National
Hornets got the
Basketball.
Celtics, like I said. Yeah, the Magic have your Hawks, who have locked up, looks like that 8th seed, unless the
Yeah.
Bulls
I think we in the play-in.
claim that. Yeah, it's a
The
play-in,
day-in.
but I guess it's just determining who you're going to play, because you're one game better than the Bulls, but I don't know the tiebreaker between those two teams.
We always in the play-in.
The Suns and the Kings will play. Right now, the Kings will still, and that's the thing, that looks like they're going to hold on to the 9th spot. The Suns aren't playing for anything. Their season is over. Lakers have the Trailblazers.
That should be easy.
That
Well,
should be
not easy,
even if they lose. I think what would happen is looks like they could flip flop with the Nuggets, who are 49-32.
Flip flopping dress socks.
Yep, flip flopping the dress socks. Raptors got the Spurs, and they're not playing for anything. Thunder, OKC got the Pelicans. I'm pretty sure they'll rest all their starters. They got 67 wins, man. That's crazy. Utah Jazz have the Timberwolves. Now, the Wolves are in the 7th spot in the play-in. They're tied currently with the Warriors. One game better than the Grizzlies. So that game has some implications for them. They're going to try to go all out. And then you got the Mavs at the Grizzlies. Like I said, the Grizzlies are trying to get out of that play-in. They're in the 8th spot, so they'd have to leapfrog both the Timberwolves and the Warriors. And then Nuggets got the Rockets in the final game of the season. Rockets got number 2 sewn up.
Number 2.
And then, like I said, the Nuggets are trying to hang on to their 4th spot. So, man, there's a lot of basketball to be played. What brings to mind to me is when you have, it's just one of 82 games. Well, now looking at how close some of these races are, that one game could have made a difference. You just cast off early in the season.
Right.
Oh, man, we got a long season. We got 75 more of these. Sometimes teams take certain games for granted, certain teams for granted.
Yep.
They lose. Just like my Warriors could have been sitting pretty today if they had won Friday night. They lost on a buzzer beater to San Antonio.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. Now you're playing not to be in the play-in. They're in the 6th spot right now, and they could use a week off, you know. But if you got to get in that play-in, which starts Tuesday night, which is the 15th, you got to play that round, and you got to get out, and you're probably going to play 2 to 3 extra games that you wouldn't have to. And especially as that team gets older, Steph's getting older.
Yeah,
injured his hand in the game against, and I misspoke. It was Portland that they played. They played in Portland.
Okay. No, that did.
Check that. Go ahead.
That one game, because you don't think about it from a fan perspective. You're like, oh man, they got plenty of games, but especially in the West, where all the games are, decided by half a game, or you got a lot of teams with the same record. That tiebreaker comes down to that. So yeah, and it goes to like for even players, when players are resting or load management, it's almost like, it almost make you second guess, like, man, do you really need to take this game off? Because shoot, we were one game behind the 4th, 5th seed, and we could be locked in and don't have to worry about getting into the play-in. So honestly, it's crazy to think about that, but it is. I like how the game is a lot more competitive. It's definitely not no one favorite team. Here lately, anyone can be the champion. There's no clear favorite. You do have teams. You got the OKC who had the best record, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're gonna go all the way to a ship. So yeah, and especially what I love about it now towards the end of the season, especially after the All-Star break, is when I really, really pay attention to it, because those games really matter, and you see the elevation of the players' care for the game too as well. You see like stars want to play and go all out. It's gonna be a good day today. It's gonna be a good day.
It is.
It's gonna be some good basketball.
Teams start jockeying for position. Ready. Yeah, I'm ready for it too. It's gonna be a nice full day. I'll get back here right about 2:00. And the game that I was speaking of is the Warriors lost on Wednesday night on a buzzer beater to San Antonio. They went into Portland, won that game, but they got to beat the Clippers today. And I don't think I said that game, did I? I think they're one of the last games on the schedule. Warriors got the Clippers. Ooh. And they both.
That's gonna be some good game.
Yeah, Clippers got a 49-32 record. Warriors are 48-33. So yeah, teams are gonna be jockeying for position, like I said, and trying to stay out of the play-in and get that week's worth of rest. And the playoffs officially start this Saturday, April the 19th. So
we're
here. This is our time of year.
This is our time of year.
What about the narrative that changed though with the NBA? Because remember, a little bit after Christmas, it might have been January, man. The NBA is broken, too many threes, and what's wrong with the game? But then after the All-Star break and then the trade deadline, of course, things picked up and NBA became exciting again.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I think, definitely those trades, Jimmy going to the Warriors, that Luka Doncic trade was a blockbuster trade, things of that nature. Also, I think you saw some more competitiveness as far as like the MVP. You see Jokic going off. You see there's a lot of storylines. You see LeBron making history. You see Steph Curry making history. You see Ja being a goofy
jackass.
You see him being a jackass. So I think what changed about the narrative is just, I don't think you're right. I don't think nothing much like the NBA really didn't do anything. It just played out that way because it's just all the storylines and what's going on right now. You see a lot of teams actually playing who really are trying. I mean, you see OKC, a young squad who's trying to prove that they're not only just young talent, but they have a chance to compete for a championship. Then you also got the storyline with Boston. Can they beat the defending champs? Can they actually make a push to defend that title? I think just how it played out. Some things just play out in their favor, and I think this is one of the things. I don't think they did anything special, but I am here lately after the All-Star break. I have been paying a lot more attention to it because I think the level of basketball, every team is just very competitive. You see how every team is just so close and
very evenly matched.
I think that it just played out that way, and then you're just seeing new teams just emerge. You got the Houston Rockets making a splash too as well. Then you're hearing the hush hush with the Denver Nuggets. I think it all played out in the NBA's favor because it was at point when the season first started, and I also think because we're not distracted by the NFL too.
And I think you're right. Yep, you're right.
We're distracted by it because we're still paying attention heavy to the NFL, and it's getting to the nitty gritty of the NFL right when the basketball starts. Now that NFL is over, the Super Bowl is over, right around that All-Star break. Okay, now you can strictly focus on NBA. But yeah, I think that's also what it is too. We're not really focusing heavy on the NFL, who takes the spotlight.
It takes so much shine away from all the sports.
All of them.
Yep, they do. All right, it's not a sandwich.
It's not a panini.
It's not a taco.
It's not a burrito.
It's not a pizza. It's a rap.
It's a good rap.
It's a good rap. It's a good rap for Michael Malone and Calvin Booth, the coach and GM for the Denver Nuggets.
Give them the boot.
The two won a title together and were fired together this week. With 3 games left in the season?
That's crazy.
I really didn't understand that. Michael Malone was there for 10 seasons. Booth was promoted to GM in 2022, the 2023 season, the year they won the championship. Booth had been promoted, but they were both unceremoniously fired this week. And we thought it was crazy when Taylor Jenkins was fired with 9 games left for Memphis. But 3 games left, D?
3 games left. You let go of the head coach and the
GM.
So dang, it's just like what were they doing? What were they not doing? What was really going on? I mean, do you think Jokic had something to
Well, they made a point to say that Jokic had nothing to do with it. Obviously, he probably got a heads up that something was going to happen. But Michael Malone was the only coach that he played for.
Right.
But as the week went on and I started reading stories and listening to different analysts from Denver, one of the issues was that the play of Russell Westbrook, he had been given a lot of playing time by Michael Malone, the GM didn't want him to play. It caused some dissension in the locker room because Russ has been throwing up a lot of bricks here lately. I don't know if you've seen his highlights. He had a chance to win the game against Minnesota. He took a ill-advised shot. He missed a key layup. Yeah, got the steal.
They were up 1. They got the steal with no shot clock. It was only like about 10 seconds left. Technically, he could have just held the ball,
right,
and just ran it out and wait till they held him. He goes in for the layup, blows the layup. But what really messed it up when Minnesota got the possession, he fouls the shooter on a 3-pointer or something like that.
Yeah.
And they got the free throws. Game over.
So you single-handedly lost the game.
You lost the game. It culminated to where your 2 mistakes ended up costing you the game. So
they said, I guess Calvin Booth and Malone had been having words back and forth all season. Both of them wanted to claim that this their team, but again, the GM and the coach have to be in lockstep if you're going to be successful. You're not going to agree with every move, right? But you do have to have some agreement. And like I said, the players didn't want Russell on the court after that game. And Michael Malone wanted to stick with him. And then the other thing was, since they won the championship, you notice Jamal Murray's minutes have gone down. He's just all the time injured. He got his bag.
Right.
And then now he's always injured, not really playing. They say he's not happy there. And they say Michael Porter Jr., the players are tired of watching him stand around, because if you watch their games, he stands in that one spot almost the whole game looking for his shot. Yeah, he's not trying to create any movement. Now, when they played the Warriors last week, I think it was last week or the week before that, I mean, he had a decent game and he was very active, but a lot of time he stood around. He's just standing waiting on his shot, and if he's not going to get the ball, if they didn't call his play, he's just standing around watching.
Yeah,
they got tired of that. So it was, I guess, a few things that added up to, they're like, look, we need to make a change. But I always ask, with 3 games left, I mean, you're almost, you got 4th spot locked up, I guess, but you almost could be, depending on what happens today, getting into the fighting for a play-in spot.
Yeah,
so I mean, are you really gonna make a championship run? I don't see it. Not without a healthy Jamal Murray. Did you have to make the move now? Were things that toxic that you really had to just shut it down at this moment?
I guess maybe they need just something, a drastic change, to where either it's gonna be good and the team's gonna rally, or they're gonna fold. From all that what you said, it sounds like they folding. It sounds like Michael Porter ain't really wanting to be there, especially if the team doesn't want Russell Westbrook there. And I feel bad for Russell Westbrook, because the past 5-6 seasons, whatever, he's just been like not the laugh of the
outcast.
He's been the outcast. I mean, the dude tries hard, but maybe
he does.
He puts his heart out there, but it is a little bit of a questionable decision, especially in that game. You're like, damn, Russ, what you doing, bro? Like,
right.
I'm trying to fight for you here, but you're not making me look good, because you could have just held the ball. But I mean, especially that's adding turmoil to the locker room, and then the coach goes, the GM not on the same page with everything. I saw I forgot what game it was, but it was like the last second shot, or it was coming down to like the last quarter. You had Nikola Jokic in the huddle with the last second play. He started up a play for himself. Like, it's just like, dang. So it's one of them things. Is like, they had the caliber to like win a championship, but it goes back to that chemistry. Everyone. That's why it's so hard to win a championship, and it's so, people don't really realize you can have the talent, they pretty much have the same team, but if everyone's not on the same page, it goes from the GM to the coach to the players. It doesn't seem no one's really vibing. So this could hinder their season and make potentially an MVP type season for Jokic almost be a waste.
Yeah, you're right. And he did solidify averaging a triple-double for the season. Points, rebounds, and assists. It is official. He did do it. He averaged a triple-double.
Because Russell Westbrook was Mr. Triple-Double, because he was the one who just solidified every year. He's triple-double. For someone of his caliber, his size, I mean, to average.
So they say if he scores 47 points today, he'll average 30 points. I know he was at 29 and some
Ooh.
change, but he's already got it locked up though. But I wanted to find out. It's Russell Westbrook and Oscar Robinson.
Yeah,
So
I was gonna say those two. But Russell, how many?
Those only two, and then Russell did it 4 times.
Okay.
Yep. And then Oscar Robinson did it in 1961 and 1962 season. So
okay, so yeah,
it's 3 players have done it. Yeah, Jokic becomes the third.
And then Jokic would be his 4th season doing it, right?
Averaging the triple-double.
Averaging a triple-double?
No, this is his first, I believe, that he averaged the triple-double.
Okay. This is his first year averaging a triple-double.
Averaging. Okay. He's one of 3 players now.
Right. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So Russell, him,
Mr. Triple-double.
And then Oscar Robertson.
Yep. So he's still got
the 3. So yeah.
He got a good Oscar. Okay.
Yeah, now he's just trying to, if he can score the 47, it'll be a 30-point
triple-double.
Averaging for the season.
That's crazy.
That's very crazy.
Yo, that just shows the volume of how much they're shooting, how much they're scoring.
But his efficiency is off the charts too. He doesn't take many shots. I mean,
and not bad shots either, too.
No, he doesn't seem to take untimely shots.
Right.
Some people just come down the court, Russ, and just jack up a 3.
Just throw it in like a prayer.
And you didn't even need a 3 at the moment. That's the other thing, Deed. And I've been wanting, and I meant to go over this with the Outside the NBA crew.
Outside the NBA, go check it out. New episode.
Check it out. New episode is out now. It is a good one. Does it bother you when a player runs down? You got the set. They're running the set, and player X gets all the way to the basket. He's right there. He's open, and he kicks the ball back out. They try to shoot a 3, and they miss.
Yes.
That pisses me off to no end.
I don't like. I mean, because this, and it goes back to today's game, how much it's changed. I don't really. The reason also why I haven't been watching too much because I hate the ISO play. We'll give it to one player. Everyone stands around. No one's moving.
No movement.
We're gonna see how much he can dribble the ball, penetrate. Okay, he ain't got nothing. Pass it to this player. He's doing ISO. Oh, he ain't got nothing. He gonna pass it, and then next time it's 3 seconds left. So the last player who gets it just got to chuck it up and they miss. Run a play. I like watching the Warriors. I like watching. I mean, the Lakers do a good job. I'm trying to think of some other
Pistons do a good job with ball movement.
Good job, and it goes to the coaching as well.
Yeah, Houston does a good job with ball movement.
Ball movement, play basketball, screen the screener. If you just standing there, go screen for somebody else. They'll screen for you. Just run on the other side, pick and roll.
Set a nice pick.
Roll to the basket. Just play basketball. I just don't like the ISO ball, and that bothers me because, especially you've seen basketball when they used to run plays and they used to actually play basketball as a team, and even early 2000s you can see like the triangle offense, and you see different coaches like Popovich and his genius of running plays with all the players that he had. Everyone was getting a piece of the pie.
Yep.
Today's game is just like, man, this ISO ball, we're going to dribble it so much. And we're going to
you see, you'll dribble the clock down.
I cannot stand it because I'm like, that's not efficient basketball at all. And it's not good to watch. You just seeing players just stand around, like keep moving.
And I think that's and now that you say that and we bring it up, that's what the older school analysts, purists of the game, that's what was driving them crazy. And it was the other thing that I just described. You give up an easy 2 to go for a 3. That's not probable.
Right.
The law of averages, what you're going to average 40 to 50% taking that 2 under the basket. You got a 30-something% chance for the 3. I mean, do the math. I'm passing up a layup to kick it back out.
A layup.
Excuse me. I got a layup right there. I'm open. I kick it back out. Dude jacks up a 3 and he misses. And if it's an air ball, they're taking the ball and they're running the other way with it.
Outlet, someone's already down there. Easy bucket for them.
It's crazy. That drives me nuts.
It's terrible. It's terrible basketball. I don't like how it is. And like you said, it's the numbers. Get closer to the basket. It's like it used to be like the closer you are to the basket, the better chance you're gonna make it. Now
your efficiency goes up.
who can make it the furthest away from the basket. Now, like, don't get me wrong, like players like Steph Curry, he masters that shot.
Practices on a daily
to where it for him that is a layup percentage.
It is.
His 3-pointer is a layup percentage because how much time and effort and work. People don't see the off the court, how he's putting up almost 1,000 shots before he leaves. They're just thinking, oh, he's doing it. It works. No, he put in the work to do that.
And he's talented to do that.
But go back just to we talked about this last time. Go back to the mid-range.
A good mid-range.
A good mid-range is, man, that's a
nice Have you watched him shoot twos? Oh, dude is almost unstoppable.
Oh, yeah. He come on, man.
He could probably, I'm serious. If he just stuck to shooting twos, he could average 60% field goal percentage. Yeah. I mean, he doesn't miss many mid-range jumpers.
Right.
And it's crazy. I'm like, come on, man. Damn. I get it, but I don't get it.
I just don't like it. Yeah, I don't like the style of basketball. And it's not entertaining to watch.
And like it's not appealing. It's not good to the eye.
Yeah.
We got double Nikos, not nickels. Nikos
we got
in the news. Not a double nickel, double Nikos in the news. So the first Nico Iamaleava. I had to practice that name all day yesterday.
Man.
Former quarterback for Tennessee leaves the program over NIL dispute. He missed practice, was cut from the team, and he entered the transfer portal. This is after they brought him in and paid him a record deal last year.
He actually played pretty well for him.
He played well for Tennessee, but something didn't go down. And my whole thing is, you all had all winter to get this settled. How do you get to spring practice and you're starting QB? Don't want to be there. Something happened, and now he bounced, and it's all over NIL. And, of course, they had to cut him because that's not a good look. You can't have one college player hold up a team. But you're going to start seeing more and more of this, D, because it's more like professionals.
Yeah, it's going to start coming like the pre-NFL. Now I'm holding out. Oh, okay, now I want to be traded.
Yep.
Transfer portal.
I can get in the portal. Portal opens up next week or this week coming up.
I wouldn't mind him at Georgia. Georgia scrounge up some money because he's a baller, bro.
He is a baller.
He's a baller, man. He can place the ball well. He can run a little bit. Good decision making. Yeah, I mean, but it is coming more just like the NFL. You got these players. Oh, you ain't got my money right. Well, I'm holding out for the season.
I'm just gonna hold out. I'll just transfer.
Right. We're gonna cut you. Well, I'm just gonna enter the transfer portal. Somebody's gonna want me there. Some program is gonna want me at their program to get some more wins. So, yeah, I mean, there's perks, but there's also those. Okay, we
drawbacks to
it. The drawbacks to it as well, because, like you said, it's gonna be a slippery slope. He does it. Okay, someone else of that caliber.
Someone else is gonna do it.
Oh, gonna do it too as well. Now you got college players out here holding out. Hey, come on now. You in college, bro.
You in college.
Earn your stripes first. Like,
exactly.
The people
Nico,
in the NFL,
you didn't lead them to a championship.
Right.
You didn't lead them to the playoffs, did you? Playoffs.
Right. You didn't go to no. You ain't in no Pro Bowl. You're not in no.
Right.
Like you're not. Yeah, the way you're at right now, you need to be earning your stripes. You need to be just playing football, and then when you get to the pros and got that certain status, then okay. I don't even like
what's that gonna do for his draft status when it's time? Because if I were a team, I'd be looking at that as a lack of character trait. Right. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Trait. Nico Iamaleava leaves Tennessee. Yeah, I had to practice that with D. They had even had a little thing where Tennessee fans were trying to say his name. They were jacking it up, and then he finally pronounced it right for him.
That's
and then the other Nico in the news, current GM of the Dallas Mavericks, had to listen to chants of "Fire Nico" after Luka Doncic's first return to Dallas since he was traded to the Lakers in February. What'd you make of Luka's return? He lit him up, didn't he?
He lit him up. We were talking in the chat. He's definitely gonna go off for 40 tonight.
I felt a 40 burger coming.
Damn near could have got for 50 because he got 45. But yeah, I mean, as of right now, it's almost like it's related to the move of the New York Giants getting rid of Saquon, and then he goes out and has one of his better years, has a chance. And then you play him. He goes off on y'all. And then now the Lakers are actually in a position, they have a great chance to go
They
into a
do.
championship, to actually, I don't know about winning, but going to a championship, they
Yep.
have a great chance. And it's just like, okay, as of right now, it is not looking good because one, Kyrie got hurt. AD right off the bat was battling injury, so it worked out for the Lakers
in the short term.
In the short term, now maybe when Kyrie comes back, AD's there, you get some fluidity, it might turn out better for them. But people don't want to wait a couple years from now. They want the results right now.
Yeah.
And then also you saw they did the highlight reel for him, the comeback for Luka, and you saw the emotion, the elation. Luka didn't want to leave. He didn't want to leave.
He's the face of the franchise.
He was hurt by this decision. He was. Especially after I took y'all to the finals. Like, and that's
just last
year. And that's what y'all think that, I don't know what it was, him being out of shape. I don't know how they came to the conclusions, like, let's get rid of our franchise player, a player who's 25 years old, who has the skills of like that. Now, get me wrong, he need to learn how to shovel his feet and play some defense.
Right.
But that's
he does need to do that.
But that's another story for another day. But, I mean, it's almost worthy of him getting fired because it's like, bro, what are you doing?
Nico.
You see what he's doing, and now every time he plays y'all, he's gonna come with a chip. You're gonna expect him to go off for 40.
He's gonna torch you.
He's gonna torch you.
The person I feel bad for, though, at the end of it is Anthony Davis, because it's like they treat him like he's chopped liver. And you could tell he was emotional. Like, damn, I was the player that came to you.
Right.
I'm here now.
Right.
You treat me like I'm just anybody off the street.
You still reminiscing.
Right. You still reminiscing about that old girlfriend.
Old girl. I'm the I was supposed to be the new. You worried about the old man. But yeah,
they do mistreat him though, and he was emotional too. His game was off.
Yeah, he wasn't in the right headspace.
He was not in the right headspace. You could just see his body language was bad.
Yeah, it was all bad. He's like, dang, I thought I was good in LA. Like me, he felt hurt about it too. He's like, I'm in LA, I'm with LeBron. We had won a championship together. That does a lot to your mental when a franchise would just.
And they didn't do it during the summer. I mean, you do it during the season, right after the break.
Right.
We're going to get into that stride, and he had been playing well. He had a good season last year. You thought they were going to be locked in, but the one thing against AD, he never took over the team. LeBron wanted to hand him the keys, and he never wanted them. We're like, I don't want them. Mr. Wallace, I don't want it.
I don't want it.
He didn't want the keys.
He didn't want the keys.
He did not want the keys, and he had them. And LeBron, like I said, wanted him to take them. Now Luka's gonna be driving that bus in LA.
You can see Luka,
25 years old. He's gonna be driving that bus as long as he can figure out how to come into the season healthy. But you got to think about this, D. 25 years old, already been in the league, 5-6 years.
Yeah.
You could change that behavior. I wouldn't have given up on him.
Yeah,
and if I'm Nico, I'm not giving up. But what I've been reading and hearing, it's the ownership, because he was going to get that max deal, 300 and something.
That bread. It's all that money.
They did not want to pay him because they didn't trust his health. He was often injured with the calf injuries. They was calling him Hookah Doncic. I guess he likes to smoke a little bit.
Yeah,
Hookah Doncic. And he preferred doing all that more than staying in shape, and that kind of rubbed management and ownership the wrong way, because Mark Cuban is not the main primary owner anymore. It's a group out of Las Vegas. They wanted to bring a casino to Dallas, and apparently that's getting shot down. And so a lot of people think that they're trying to low-key tank so they can say, hey, we can't draw. We'll get rid of our best player. Now we'll move the team to Las Vegas. But we'll see how all that turns out. That's crazy.
Because even Mark Cuban looked hurt when
he was hurt. Dirk Nowitzki boycotted the team. He don't even come to games until until Luka comes to town.
He goes to the Lakers.
He goes to the Lakers games to support Luka.
That was the prodigy. That was supposed to be the next coming. Like especially because they kept Dirk there for so long, his whole career, and that was supposed to be the next.
He turned the keys over to Luka.
That was supposed to be the next, and it's just the caliber of player that Luka is. He's a bucket, man. He's a surefire bucket for sure. So it's just crazy. I guess Nico was under the pressure from management, but also it's just like, man, the ownership, and I guess it always does come down to
Come
money.
down to
And
that
Luka
cheese.
was about to get that bag, so I guess
He was
they
going
were
to get a
like,
super max deal. I think
right,
325, 350 million guaranteed. The new ownership didn't want to do it. Mark Cuban would have done it. I think Mark Cuban would have done it all day long. He'd
Mark
have
Cuban
figured
probably would
out
have
a
put
way.
out, hey, he said, I can give you at least 3, 4, half. How much? I give you half, and then y'all match me or something like
Right.
that, or like,
He'd
and
figure
like,
out a way to keep his person.
but damn, I
Yeah,
can't
two
remember.
Nikos in
2
the
Nikos.
news.
That's crazy.
UFC 314 last night. D, did you watch any of
I
it?
stayed up and watched it.
I was going to text you to see if you were up.
I stayed up and
Patty
watched
the
it.
Batty Pimblett
That was
pummeled
Michael
Chandler.
Chandler. I was surprised about that.
I was too.
I thought Chandler was going to actually have the advantage because Patty, he had some good fights, but he was facing a lot of people who were like washed in a sense, like Tony Ferguson.
He was catching them on their way down.
Yeah, he was catching on the way down. So I wanted to see someone who can catch it. But that was one of the most impressive performances I've seen from Patty.
It was.
I didn't know he was an overall round fighter, especially with the hype around him.
Because he mostly was choking people out, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was gonna do
submitting. He was submitting them.
But he had some good stand-up game.
He did that roundhouse kick and split old boy's face open.
Man, he was actually throwing some moves. Good takedown defense because Chandler is a wrestler. But there were some times there where Patty, he looked like he was working on his wrestling too because he was gaining the advantage. Ultimately got the stoppage. I'm like, okay, Patty was out here. If he might be we'll see. I don't know who's going to be his next opponent is, but he might be. Okay.
He might be stepping in line for a title shot soon. Patty the Batty submitted Michael Chandler with 3:07 left in the third round. And the main event, Alexander Volkanovski went up against Diego Lopez, and he got his belt back, or got a belt. He left with the belt.
Got my belt back.
I got my belt back. Yeah, the main event, Volkanovski, he beat Diego Lopez. That was a good fight.
That was a good fight. It was a back and forth fight.
He pretty much dominated, in my opinion, though. Volkanovski.
It was like the second round. It looked like Lopez was battling back. He was contending. He was throwing some good combos, some good shots. Dropped him.
He dropped him a couple times.
I think with Volkanovski, since he's got knocked out from when he went up to like
back-to-back knockouts.
Back-to-back knockouts, he got that easy push button on his chin.
Yeah.
He was getting dropped with these at one point. I'm like, okay, like this was a real good fight. It was a real good fight. I watched the whole thing.
I did too. I was glad I stayed up for it because I was struggling for a little bit, and it kicked in right about what was the fight before that? Was that the Silva fight? I think it was Gene Silva. I think that was the fight is when I switched over and started watching it. But yeah, that Patty the Batty Pimblett against Michael Chandler fight, and then Volkanovski Lopez, that was another good fight. UFC 314 went down, and it was in Miami. Miami. A little NFL news. I don't know if you saw this, but Joe Flacco goes back home to Cleveland.
Okay.
So they signed him on Thursday, I want to say. I thought they never should have let him go.
Right.
The comeback player of the year 2023.
Right.
Then he leaves and goes to Indianapolis, and I'm like, you got a capable backup. He can be your starter. Well, now they bring him back for $4 million. And I guess my question to you is, do you think this takes him out of the Shedeur sweepstakes, Shedeur Sanders?
I don't think so. I think it was still set up because building your QB room is going to be beneficial for you anyway to have some guys who are knowledgeable. And I think
it's also Kenny Pickett. Remember they picked up Kenny Pickett
too. So yeah, if you add a Shedeur in there, I think it helps. I don't think you're going to be out because you still need. I mean, what are they doing with Deshaun? Is he still hurt?
He's still hurt, and they're pretty much trying to write him on off.
Yeah, I don't think he's. I think he's just gonna be.
They're just gonna pay him not to be there.
Pretty much, they're gonna be moving on from him. But I think this is a good spot for Shedeur, especially if they can protect him, get him some weapons around there. But yeah, you get a Flacco who's a veteran, Super Bowl winning quarterback, and then you get a Kenny Pickett has a lot to prove, who can actually compete.
It takes Kirk Cousins out of the mix, though, so that means you all are still stuck with him.
Yeah,
at least for a little while longer.
Right, but I mean, having and that's another topic for another discussion. Keeping him, but I mean, that's not a bad move keeping him. But to go back, it was Joe Flacco. Yeah, they never should even let him go,
They
especially what
shouldn't
he was
have.
doing. He came off the couch and was giving you guys some good success, some good
Wins.
wins, some wins that you guys weren't getting. But I think you still get a Shador, and then you have a good QB locker room to where if something happens, you go with Shador. He's not ready. Okay, maybe Joe Flacco or Kenny Pickett can take on. Or if injury happens to one of them, you got someone who can still be knowledgeable of the playbook, keep around, especially having Joe Flacco there. He's had success, and he might give you a couple wins.
You think Shador gets past the Giants? That's the other thing, is it's two teams that have really been. I'm wondering if Pittsburgh, because I know he was in Pittsburgh on Friday. They say they had a great meeting. Mike Tomlin loves them, but they're at 21. They have to trade all. That's a long way to trade up. I don't know what they have in assets to go after Shador, but he could be your quarterback for the future.
Ooh, Shador for the Steelers. I don't think he's going to still be there.
I don't think he'll get past 9 with the New Orleans Saints. That's where I think is a good fit for him. Saints need a quarterback. Now that they know that Derek Carr is probably going to be lost for the season, maybe lost forever. They say that shoulder injury that he hasn't healed. He's probably going to have to opt out for surgery. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do with him.
Right. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of teams right now needing a good quarterback, needing a legit quarterback, someone who they can build a franchise around. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see where Shador ends up at. But I think that's a good move for the Browns. We'll see how it plays out. I mean, we're right around the corner from that draft. So
and we'll be talking good draft conversation next week because that leads into draft week. So, yeah, more on that as we go along. NHL, real quick, Alan Ovechkin did get the record after we finished recording last Sunday. He finally did pass up the great one, Wayne Gretzky, and he holds the all-time record at 895 goals. I went back and looked at it. I guess he might have shut it down for the regular season because he hasn't played much since Sunday. He hasn't added any more goals to the mix unless he does something today. But I think there's a couple more games left in the regular season, and then the playoffs will start next week. NCAA tournament, just to put a bow on it. On the women's side, UConn dominated South Carolina. Paige Beckers went out on top as she hoped to. She got her championship, and she'll move on to the WNBA. UConn won 82-59, and Gene Auriemma got his 12th NCAA championship, his first since 2016.
In a minute.
Ozzie Fudd, not Elmer Fudd, Ozzie Fudd led all scorers with 24 points and was named the tournament's most outstanding player.
We were alluding to that UConn was the better team. Right. They had more of a supporting cast. They were more consistent.
That team was deep. Seriously.
So Paige Becker's out their way, and then what's the young lady?
Sarah Strong.
The
freshman,
She's the next.
She's the next.
They already got one loading.
And Fudd is coming back. She already announced that she's coming back.
Oh yeah, so they're already set up to be in the Final Four next year and get another championship. But yeah, we alluded to that had the better team.
They did,
especially with Paige Beckers. But we were riding with loyalty as always with Don Stegley in South Carolina. We've been riding with them over the past couple years, so we're not gonna switch up just like that. But yeah, UConn was the better team, and it was all timing with Paige Beckers. She finally was healthy a full year. She, with all the hype when she came in, because I think she's actually older than Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, as maybe like a couple months or like something like that, as far as like the same age group. So when she came in, she got injured. Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese took the spotlight, and that's jolted. The women's added more highlight to the women's game as far as collegiately. They went on, and then it was Paige's time, and it's all about God's timing because it was the perfect time for her.
God's plan.
God's plan. It was right for her. She was outstanding, and now she gets a national championship, and now you're finna be the number one pick in this upcoming draft. So it all works out, and she was probably going through it. I think she missed like 500 and something days as far as like not playing, and she got right. She got healthy. Led them to a championship, and It was unfortunate not to see. It was a domination. It was
they dominated.
They dominated. South Carolina really couldn't do too much, but I'm happy for Paige and the adversity she went through and it worked out for her. So good for her.
And then on the men's side, Florida came away with a 65-63 win.
Game too.
The way that Houston beat Duke on that Saturday night is the way they lost the game in the championship. They got walked down. You just got walked down by a team that I don't think was better than you. But congratulations to the Florida Gators. They did get that championship, their third in school's history. But with seconds left in the contest, the Cougars couldn't even get a shot off, and it was all over. Walter Clayton Jr. was the tournament's most outstanding player. Will Richard led the Gators with 18 points. L.J. Cryer was a high scorer for Houston. I felt bad for Calvin Sampson because you worked all these years. I mean, he's been coaching. He's 70-something. I think, want to say 70, 71.
Yeah, he was close.
Still coaching. You finally get your team, all the different teams that he's led in schools, Indiana, and was it Oklahoma? And I know it's been with at least 4 to 5 different schools. You finally get a team to the championship game, and you're within seconds of winning your first ever title, and you all didn't even get a shot off.
He didn't even get the shot off. And then that same it was I feel bad for that player too as well, because he turned it over. He turned the ball over the previous possession. They end up getting the ball back and have a chance to get the lead, and you don't even get a shot off.
Don't even get a shot off.
I guess he was just worried about it getting blocked. But okay, but you didn't even get the shot off. Okay, he blocks a shot, you still can get the rebound, get it back, and maybe throw it up. I mean, something. Or if you didn't think you had enough time to get it up there, throw it off.
Then he missed dribbles, then he couldn't even touch the ball again.
And then he throws it down, and then he couldn't even touch it.
He couldn't even touch it because he'd been double dribbled.
So it's just like, dang, bro, you didn't even get the shot off. And
right.
I feel for him because it was probably a lot going on. He was probably a lot in his head. He didn't want to make a mistake, and then he ended up making a mistake. So you almost just got to keep your mental right and be like, hey, I'm gonna come back. We're gonna get this. But yeah, it was unfortunate. I feel bad for Coach Sampson too as well, because literally, like you said, they had that game.
They had that game. Walked down. Like you walked down Duke, you got walked down.
You got walked down.
You should have seen you should have seen that movie. You knew what the outcome was going to be.
Right.
You should have done everything in your power to avoid that. But congratulations once again to the Florida Gators. Congratulations to the UConn Lady Huskies.
Yep.
Moving on, the Crown Championship tournament wrapped up. Nebraska grabs the $300,000 with their 77-66 win over UCF. So congratulations to them. And we'll keep it moving. The Wild and the Weird.
The Wild and the Weird.
I got a couple paragraphs on this, but I'm going to shorten it up for the sake of time. Headline is, foster mom is charged with abuse as authorities investigate whether a girl was traded for a monkey.
What's going on?
What's going on in the world,
What's going on in the world? The girl was traded for a monkey.
A Missouri foster mother has been charged with child abuse and endangerment as authorities investigate whether she traded an adopted daughter to someone in Texas for a monkey and mistreated other children in her care. The 70-year-old woman from Winfield has been jailed on $250,000 bond since her arrest over the weekend, with her next court appearance set for next Tuesday. The Associated Press is not identifying her in an effort to not identify her child.
Dang. I mean, yeah, we used to play Winfield and used to whoop on them, so it would be Winfield.
It would be Winfield.
And dang, and honestly, that's just crazy. So she wanted a monkey, so she's gonna trade the adopted daughter. And that's another thing with these stuff. Like, what are they doing? I guess are they doing checkups?
Like, what kind of checks are they doing?
Yeah,
wellness checks.
Wellness checks on the children, because you can't just give. I mean, I know it's a pretty in-depth process for adoption. They just not giving kids away, but maybe she fooled them. Maybe
she had more than 200 foster children in her care over the years.
Was she running a daycare? I guess she was running some trafficking. Sounded like she was running some
I don't
trafficking.
know what she was doing, but somebody dropped the ball in terms of, like you said, the follow up or just
Ooh,
the initial. Hey, is this person even qualified to be
that's a lot
a
of.
great foster parent?
And why are you allowed to get so many children?
Because what happens is once you're named a foster parent, if nothing really comes about that's bad, and
Then you can
I've got a
keep.
couple of customers that are foster parents that shouldn't even be able to be a foster parent of this microphone. But once
No.
you but once you get in the system, and if there's nothing that really pops up, they keep funneling kids to you. And all
And
these
that's
people are
another
doing is
thing.
getting checks. That's all you. That's all they're doing it
Yeah,
for. They're doing it for the
yeah,
check. They're not
yeah. I'm
doing it
about to.
to really take care of the child or the
Yeah,
children. It's
yeah.
sad, man.
It is sad.
200. I mean, why? What? Who has?
The
I mean,
capacity and the time and the food
for
and the resources.
200, for more than 200. So just over the years, she's just funneling people through. So it's got to be somebody connected
Oh yeah,
in
she
some
knows
type of way.
somebody. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, and she was getting breaked
And
off with
they're
the
split
checks.
the exactly. We're gonna
Like,
split this check. I'm
it's
gonna send you
something.
10 more foster kids.
There's no
Uh,
way.
Luckily, she messed up this time and got caught, but because she wanted, instead of a child, she wanted a monkey.
Well, I got a few kids. How many you need down there? I sent 5 of them. You send me a monkey.
Send me a monkey.
Like, come on now. Like, what's going on here? And then
What's
it's
going
just
on in the
it's just
world?
sad.
It would have to be in our state.
Right.
70 miles away from St. Louis.
Damn.
That's the wild and the weird. That's very weird.
Very weird, man.
All right, son. I saw we had some product placement. I'm going to skip a couple things that we have here on the list.
Yeah, we got
product placement. Let me see here. Let's
get that time then. Ooh, that XS. Excess energy.
XS. Hit Sonny up for that XS.
Good, non-jittery, positive energy. Great for when you're on the go. You can start your day with it, end your day with it. You can get just good B vitamins. It's good energy. It's not gonna make you feel all rushed and cracked out if you're looking for that. This ain't it for you, my G.
This ain't that.
This ain't that. This is for good, positive energy.
All right, time for that juicy news.
Juicy news.
Because if you don't know, now you know. Young brother, young sister, young player, Dwight Howard, P. Diddy, Porter family, Cheetah.
Oh man, so for that juicy news, because if you don't know, now you know. We just talked about him last. He's in the headlines again, Mr. Cheetah. Headlines. So a newly released 911 call captured the distressing moments during a domestic dispute involving Miami Dolphins star Tyreek Hill and his wife at the beach condominium. So Tyreek Hill's wife's mother made the call, revealed escalating tension between the two partners and concerned the safety of her daughter. Said in a nearly 15-minute call, the mother voice was trembling to the dispatcher, said, "I'm so scared," while a heated argument was unfolding in the background, which was presumably Tyreek Hill and his wife. The phone indicated she was saying who does it involve. She was saying Tyreek Hill. He plays football for the Miami Dolphins. According to the police report, the dispute began when Tyreek Hill returned from training and discussed their ongoing couples therapy. I guess the couple is going through therapy for these reasons. Keita Hill expressed a dissatisfaction with the session and criticized Tyreek Hill's involvement with their daughter, leading to a good argument. A bad argument, not a good argument, but a bad argument. Tyreek Hill allegedly grabbed the baby from Keita Hill and was walking around the apartment. That's when the call ensued. The mother-in-law called and said Tyreek Hill was being very aggressive, impulsive, and has anger issues, which he's had these
outbursts
before in domestic disputes too as well. She also said that she was expressing fear for her daughter's safety, saying she also said that Tyreek Hill threw Keita Hill's laptop and walked toward the balcony with the child in arms. So the police came on the scene, saw a bruise on Keita Hill's chest, which attributed to Tyreek Hill grabbing the baby from her. Both parties stated that the argument did not become physical and no arrests were made. So it just seems like a little toxic relationship, seeing why that's why they're in
couples therapy.
Couples therapy. So the day after the incident happened, Keita Hill filed for divorce, citing that pretty much it's a broken marriage. They're not going to be able to get back. It seems like they've been going to counseling. It hasn't worked. It's so funny that here, was it like about a month ago, both were seen on TikTok and they were making TikToks together, doing a couple TikToks. Price trying to make it seem like everything is all good, but behind closed doors, it's not all good. Even one of the TikToks, they expressed they might have another baby. And Tyreek Hill,
he loved making babies.
He loves making the babies. But I guess the involvement with him, he might be slacking on. So
damn.
Yeah, just because you can make some babies don't make you a father.
It don't mean that at all.
Yeah, and then Tyreek Hill's had a history of off-the-field issues, including a 2015 domestic assault conviction and a 2019 child abuse investigation, which led to a brief suspension but no league discipline. As of now, no charges have been filed, and the case remains closed. So it just seems like with his history, that's why he's in the cheetah shoes, because it seems like he has anger issues. Seems like he has a lot to deal with, a lot of immaturity. Also, remember he broke the IG model's leg. Apparently, they were supposed to be I guess they were hooking up and they were running drills, and he ran at her and broke her leg.
Tackled her hard and broke her leg.
Broke her leg off, but. Yeah, it seems like the dude has some issues, some problems, some things that he's dealing with, even with the incident with the police to where they dragged him out of there. Now, I'm not saying one party was right. The officers were being aggressive, but Tyreek Hill could have also handled it a little bit better because he was coming from that cocky arrogance. Oh, what
who I am,
who I am, like type of persona too as well. So it seems like the dude always keeps himself in trouble. So he has a lot of things to work on, but that is your juicy news.
All right, son. All right, moving on. It's time for our pops, flops, and props.
Pops, flops, and props.
Oh, those pops, flops, and props. Who you popping this week, son? Who you popping?
Man, NBA playoffs are here. We got the play-in tournament. A lot of good NBA games today. The play-in tournament starts on the 15th on Tuesday, and then you got the games. Officially, the playoffs start on the 19th. So it's that time of year where basketball shines. The highlight, you're going to see some good, meaningful NBA basketball. So that's my pops.
My pops is going to go to the UConn women's and the Florida men's basketball teams for claiming their national titles. Who you flopping? Who gets the flop?
Flops is going to go to Nico Harrison, GM of the Dallas Mavericks, man. That was a flop.
Fire Nico.
But regardless if, I guess, he was under pressure or if it was, I don't know, he had no say-so or getting rid of the matter, because sometimes when you're in that position, it might not be you making the decisions, it's the people above you. So at the end of the day, he does get the point. He's pointed the finger of making that decision, but it was a bad decision by the organization and Nico Harrison.
Yeah, I think it was an organizational decision. Unfortunately for him, he's going to be the face of it, though. He's going to have to be the one that wears it. Yeah. My flop is going to go to Houston and Kelvin Sampson, especially since you were minutes away from claiming a natty and you didn't even get a shot off. You couldn't even attempt to score. Yeah, that's a big flop for me. Who you propping? Who's your prop?
Props is going to go to Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic going back for his former team, dropping 45. And also props to Alexander Volkanovski for getting his title back in the UFC 314. He's once again the featherweight champion. So props to Luka, props to Alexander the Great.
All right, mine's going to go to Nikola Jokic for becoming the third player in NBA history to average a triple-double. That's pretty crazy. And it's not like I said, a 10, 10, and 10. You're talking almost 30 points a game and 10 to 12 rebounds. I think it's more like 15 rebounds. I forgot how many assists, but that's pretty outstanding. Now we're at the point of the podcast of the show where we get to tell someone to sit your ass down. Man, sit your ass down, please, and thank you. Who you telling, son?
Sit your ass down is gonna go to Cheetah.
Cheetah.
Tyreek Hill, man. Sit your ass down. Go to counseling. Go to therapy yourself. Obviously, you got some anger issues.
Get yourself right.
You need to get yourself right before you start involving another partner, another woman, having babies with them when you can't even handle yourself. When you're a child yourself.
Yep.
Grow up. Man, get some counseling, man. They got so many places where you can get some counseling, where you can go talk to somebody, go to church, read the Bible, talk to God. There's so many outlets where you can, if you're having aggression, box. Not your woman. You go to train.
Right.
And find a way to relieve that stress in a productive way, because all these incidents, at the end of the day, you're the problem. It comes down, this is not your first incident. With all your history, seems like you go OC, seems like you almost have an arrogant, you're not going to disrespect me type of attitude. I don't know what it is, but you need to go sit your ass down on a therapy couch, go talk to somebody, and get better, man. Get better mentally. I don't know if this is from something you got triggers or something that you happened in your past that has led to this type of aggression or this type of behavior. But man, go and get right, man, because whether you like it or not, you are an example to these young people who follow you, who are fans of you, and they see stuff like this. It almost shows a behavior that I can do what I want and I can still be in the NFL and carry yourself a certain way. It's not a good look, man. Get right. And also, man, you got kids. When kids are involved, man, you need to be a role model. You need to be a leader. You need to be a father. So Tyreek Hill, man, go sit your ass down and go get some help, man.
I agree wholeheartedly. I almost told Ja Morant too, because you go from the gun gesture celebration, now you're popping grenades and throwing them into the crowd. Dude, at some point, Adam Silver, they're going to get tired of the antics, man. They really going to get tired of it. And they're going to tell you to sit your ass down. But my for real one for this week, if I had to get Jon Scheyer last week for Duke, I got to get Kelvin Sampson this week, man. You've been waiting all these years just to get to the title game. And you couldn't even draw up a play to get a shot off to win the natty that you've been so desiring. Man, sit your ass down, dude, for real, because I can guarantee you're not going to get back to this spot.
Oh, no,
it's so hard to get there, as you know. You, like I said, tried for years and years and years. You were seconds away. All you even had to do was just even have another instance of why not drive the ball to the hole? Just take the foul, get a foul, go to the free throw line. Kelvin Sampson, man, sit your ass down. I'm just tired for him,
man.
And at his age, 70-something years, you're not coaching much longer. Man. Sit your ass down, Kelvin. Man, D, we chopped up a whole lot on this Me and D Pops and Sunday. Got us a new day of the week to celebrate or get through. But yeah, enjoyable. As always, we thank the folks for listening to us. And yeah, thank you for joining.
Yep.
The Me and D
Pops and Son
podcast.
For that ass.
For that ass.
For that ass.
For that ass. Oh, don't forget your merch.
Oh, yeah, don't forget your merch.
I wanted to say that first of all. Don't forget your merch. Don't forget Outside the NBA, our other podcast.
Go listen to that. Tune into that. That's straight NBA talk, especially with these NBA playoffs going on. We're gonna be getting.
We'll be talking heavy draft.
Yep.
We'll probably do our normal draft, live draft coverage. Like we did the last couple years. Yeah, with the Monday night crew.
For the NFL, we're going to
do the NFL draft that takes place on the 24th. So, yes, stay with us. Stay with us.
Subscribe to the YouTube channel. You subscribe so you never miss an episode. So, anytime we're dropping bonus content, we're dropping episodes, and you want to just tune in, watch, listen to, man, go subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Yes, please and thank you.
Plenty of content on there.
Plenty of content. So, D, go ahead and tell them.
But until next time.
I'm
a holler.